Welcome to the Russian ghetto. Maxim Tesak Martsinkevich built his life on cruelty, violence, and hate. He reveled in the suffering of others, terrorizing migrants, minorities, and anyone who didn't fit his twisted vision of the world, from orchestrating brutal attacks to glorifying murder on camera. His existence was defined by sadism and extremism. Maxim Martsinkevich was born on May 8, 1984 in Moscow. His father, Sergei Evgenievich, reportedly shared his Nazi views, and his mother didn't. Despite his infamy and public presence, Tesak never married and had no children. From an early age, he developed a fascination with violence and extremism. Drafted into the Russian army, he lasted only a few days before being discharged after assaulting a fellow soldier, an Azerbaijani conscript. Following a psychiatric evaluation, he was deemed unfit for service. His infamous nickname, Tesak, which translates to hatchet, reflected his passion for bladed weapons. Tesak quickly embedded himself in Russia's radical nationalist scene. He was an active member of the Russian Goal, a skinhead group, and later joined the ultra-right People's National Party from 2001 to 2003. But it was in 2005 that he gained national notoriety when he founded Format 18, a neo-Nazi organization infamous for its violent attacks on migrants, the homeless, and ideological opponents. The name 18 was a veiled reference to Adolf Hitler, using the numerical positions of the letters A and H in the alphabet. Format 18's members filmed their brutal assaults and uploaded them to the internet, reveling in the acts of violence. Tesaks also staged grotesque propaganda videos spreading hatred against non-white people and anti-fascists. One of the most chilling videos associated with Tesak was a staged execution of a supposed Tajikistani drug dealer in a Moscow forest. In the video, masked figures dressed in the Ku Klux Klan style robes hang and behead the man. While the video was later proven to be staged, it inspired real life atrocities. By 2007, he and his followers escalated their actions. Horrifying video titled The Execution of a Tajik and Dagestani surfaced online, depicted what authorities confirmed as actual murders. The video, released in 2007, led to a major criminal investigation by the Russian police. Tesak's reckless extremism eventually caught up with him. On February 28, 2007, he and his associates disrupted a Moscow political debate between journalists Yulia Latinina and Maxim Kononenko. In a chilling moment, he asked whether they agreed that Russia would only prosper if our liberals were killed. He then led his group in a Nazi-style chant, shouting, "Zik," to which his followers responded, "Hi," continuing for several minutes. The incident led to his first arrest on July 2, 2007. In February 2008, he was sentenced to 3 years in prison for inciting hatred and violence. Critics argued that the charges were light, as authorities overlooked his more serious crime. Even behind bars, his influence did not fade. In 2009, he received an additional 3.5-year sentence for hate speech. By the time of his release, Tesak was already well known in Russia's radical Nazi circles. Upon his release, he rebranded himself, not as a neo-Nazi, but as a self-proclaimed vigilante. He founded Occupy Pedophili, a movement dedicated to exposing and humiliating alleged pedophiles. Using online sting operations, the group lured men into fake meetings with minors instead of handing them over to authorities. Tesak and his followers physically assaulted and degraded them on camera, then posted the footage online. When some saw him as a crusader for justice, critics pointed out that his targets were disproportionately gay men, leading to accusations that the movement was simply a front for homophobic violence. Despite the brutality of his actions, Russian law enforcement largely ignored the group's activities, allowing them to operate unchecked. Despite numerous court cases against him, his daily violent crimes he committed, and his ultra-right views, he still somehow became a household name in Russia. He made numerous appearances on the country's most popular TV shows and was interviewed by well-known public figures as he promoted his extremist ideology under the guise of discussing social issues. His appearances sparked controversy as they gave him a platform to spread his views, even as authorities later cracked down on his activities. In 2013, new charges of extremism and inciting violence emerged against him, largely due to YouTube videos where he continued spreading neo-Nazi ideology. Tesak fled Russia, traveling through Ukraine and Belarus before landing in Cuba, where he hoped to continue his activism. However, Cuban authorities arrested him in January 2014 for violating immigration laws. Just days later, he was extradited to Russia in handcuffs and immediately detained upon arrival. By August 2014, he was sentenced to 5 years in high-security prison. In 2017, additional charges, including robbery and assault, extended his sentence to 10 years. Some of the charges stemmed from attacks on civilians, one of whom later died from his injuries. On September 16, 2020, Martsinkevich was found dead in his prison cell in Chelyabinsk. Officially, his death was ruled a suicide. He was discovered with a farewell note, apologizing to the prison staff for the inconvenience and leaving a message for his partner. However, many, including his family and lawyers, doubted the official story. Several disturbing details emerged. His body reportedly showed signs of torture, including missing fingernails and injection marks. A third farewell note was later found inside his mouth, in which he denied murders he had confessed to.
Помогал привести гастарбайтеров на эту базу, прятать головы, помогал переносить тела, и потом он подбрасывал головы в район Гальянова.
His ears were plugged with earplugs, an unusual detail that some experts suggested was an attempt to stop post-mortem blood flow from a head injury. Previously, Tesak was suggesting that he would never commit a suicide no matter what would happen to him. In the months leading up to his death, Tesak confessed to his lawyer that He suffered severe torture and was pressured to confess to murders from the 1990s. Just a week before his death, he supposedly admitted to a 2007 double homicide, but a later analysis of his statements caused doubt on the validity of his confession. His death sparked outrage among his supporters, who insisted he had been silenced rather than having taken his own life. His lawyers and family demanded an independent investigation, claiming that Russian authorities covered up evidence of his murder. And from what I heard on the street, he is rumored to have been involved in 11 killings. On October 3rd, 2020, Martsinkevich was buried in Moscow's Kontsevo Cemetery. Despite his dark past, thousands of people attended his funeral. There are no heroes in Martsinkevich's story. His death does not erase the pain he caused or the people he dehumanized. If anything, it serves as a grim reminder. Those who live by hate and brutality often meet a fate just as merciless as the one they imposed on others. And for a man like Tesak, no ending could have been more suitable.